Hello, this is Dr. Heidi Horsley, Executive Director for the Open to Hope Foundation, and I'm here with one of my favorite people, Steve Parker. And Steve is on the National Board of Directors for the Compassionate Friends with me. We serve together, and we're here at the Compassionate Friends National Conference. So Steve, tell us about what brought you into this organization.
The loss of my daughter Alyssa. She was 2 years old when she passed, and TCF was the only organization and the only, I guess, therapy that I had and used and saved my life. So time to give back.
I love that because I think, like you said, our grief does transform. And at first we are getting support here, and then we end up being the ones that are giving more of the support. So tell me about, what do you think Compassionate Friends does for people, for grieving parents?
Well, being someone who was not very therapy doctor oriented, this allowed me to go to a safe place and be who I am and talk to people who had been on the path. So in the beginning for me, it was the only release and the only comfort I could find. And then over time, obviously you find your path and your way, and now you spend your time giving back because you know how important it is to others. And like I said, it saved my life. I buried my grief. I was a typical man. I went back to work. I had to provide. I had to, anything not to grieve. And obviously if you don't grieve, at some point it just comes and gets you. So I was very fortunate that my wife suggested this, and coming from the special needs community, we went to a support group, and that was something that would help my daughter. So I felt that was very necessary, but she was gone and this wasn't going to fix her. So it took me a while to figure out that I wasn't going there for her, I was going there for me.
So how long after your daughter died did you start to come to Compassionate Friends?
It took about 6 or 8 months, and then it took about 3 or 4 meetings, which is once a month, before I realized I was in so much pain I couldn't say her name in our meetings, and I couldn't even share. I spent the whole time crying because I didn't cry. You know, I wasn't mourning yet. So it kind of brought me back to the beginning and really taught me and helped me with the beginning of the process. And from there you have to figure it out on your own. And the support of people who had been there for me was the answer.
So what would you say to guys out there that don't know how they're going to survive this loss?
I would say you need to find the way to release your grief, and you need to deal with it because it will come and get you if you don't go get it. And what I found with Compassionate Friends is it was only once a month, and that once a month I actually really grieved. It taught me how to grieve. It taught me what I needed to do to begin the healing process. And it's been 19 years. And I can tell you today in our session at lunch and listening to the songs of the ladies, I bawled like a baby. It was almost like it kind of took me back, but in a good way. And I think it's healthy.
So the Compassionate Friends is giving you permission to grieve. Thank you, Steve, and thank you for serving on the board of directors. And this is Dr. Heidi Horsley at opentohope.com.